Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to another episode of The Chamber Within. I have a question for you all. You ever get that nervous feeling when you have the guts to finally reach out and try something new, and then immediately feel that feeling of trepidation where your mind says to you, well, what if it doesn't work? Whether this is about a new job or a new relationship, going to a new destination, even. It's normal, completely normal, to be cautious, have discernment. However, I had a thought about this feeling, but I'll share it as the note that I wrote on my Substack, which is where I host this podcast. And the note that I wrote the other night went like this. One thing I think we underestimate as we get older is the value of our personal accumulated experiences. We spend decades solving problems, learning lessons, developing skills, navigating challenges, and discovering who we are. Then, when we pursue something new, we sometimes convince ourselves that we're starting from scratch. But we aren't. We're starting from experience. Every lesson learned, every mistake made, every success earned comes with us. Not a thing is wasted. We just need to trust that what we have already learned is enough for our next destination. And that's the end of the note. But, you know, you aren't starting from scratch. You are indeed starting from a world of experience. That is the idea behind what I'm trying to convey here. Starting from scratch would be starting out as a baby with no experience whatsoever, like an unpressed vinyl record ready to be coated with music. I just said vinyl. It's okay. Because I am pulling from a deepening well of experience that increases year by year. Anyways, so please don't kid yourself. Yes, this experience may be new, the new venture that you're thinking about, but the compass within is stronger than when we ventured out on our last new experience. And I use that to help thrust me forward with each and every new thing I may be having trepidations about. I remember when I went back into retail 20 years after not being in retail, and the manager at the time asked me if I was okay learning something new in a particular department. And I responded by saying, with full confidence, that I am okay with being uncomfortable. That feeling does not last long, so I, just like to burn through it to get it over with. I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake after I get used to it, but most importantly, I'm okay with that temporary feeling of not knowing. Also, I'm thinking, one, this isn't rocket science, lady. And two, my last job that I walked away from was a lot more challenging. This is just a new arena that I'm playing in. And I just happen to be learning the rules of this game in this building at this time. Fear is its own entity and a vibration I don't like to entertain for too long. It limits us because it keeps us from expanding, exploring, and even enjoying life. Big or small events, just life, period. It can keep us locked into what we think is safe when it really is just a prison of the mind. It's useful. You can still use it as kind of like a guiding post. Instead of using it to keep you from doing something, you can use it to thrust you forward. It's common to think, well, what if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I hate it and wish I never even tried? All of these thoughts keep us from moving forward, and we rationalize the decision to stay stagnant by using these false thoughts of fear as a valid reason not to try. But like I said, we can also use it to move us forward ahead by going at it anyway. For years, I was against camping because, in my mind, a bear was going to eat me while I was sleeping in my sleeping bag that I paid a lot of money for. So I never went when I was invited. Like, I priced out the sleeping bags and was like, no, I'm just gonna be like a human burrito, and I'm cool with that. I even refused swim lessons from people. As soon as people find out I can't swim, they're like, oh, I can help you. Someone's always willing to teach me, but in the past, the fear of drowning was so crippling that there's no way I'd actually trust them enough to learn how. Imagine that. I turned down a life saving skill because I was afraid of dying mid lesson, of course. This is ridiculous. And I can say this now in hindsight, so I often think to myself, what else am I doing that is stopping myself from growing and knowing better? Side note, I am going to learn how to swim. It is on my bucket list. I am ready. After all of this that I've been through with this awakening, I see life differently. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to start my lessons. But yeah, isn't that wild? I'm afraid to die, so I won't learn a life-saving skill. Absolutely silly. But enough of fear. I had to slowly learn how to ask questions like, what if it does work out? What if I learn something new about myself? Like something awesome. What if I gain a skill, a new experience I didn't think was possible? What if I meet someone new I really like along the way? That's exciting. Those thoughts feel way better because they're actual possibilities of growth and more wonder. Anyway, I came to this conclusion, and I say all of this, the other day when I wrote that Substack note, because I am on the cusp of trying something new for myself. And encouragement starts from within. Thinking, knowing that I have the skill set to embark on this journey gives me the courage to even first consider this as an option. When I wrote that, we bring our experiences with us, it's true. It's a little mental sticky note that I like to have. A note that tells me I'm a world of experiences and I can pull from my archive at any time. Things that don't necessarily work on a resume, but work for me without fail. My little mental sticky notes are, I am stubborn. Now hear me out. Stubborn can work for you. If you reimagine it, stubborn is just tenacity, right? It really is just a euphemism for stubbornness. I show up on days even when I do not want to. I figure out the chaos after tears have come and gone, and I believe in myself. These aren't things you can, explain to people. These are things, qualities that I know about myself, and you have them too. They propel me forward. I've overcome many things, as we all have. In the moment, a problem may seem like a huge, huge issue, and then we get over it, we get around it, we get past it, and we keep it moving. These are some of the things that I have to remind myself when a sliver of doubt slips in through the cracks of any dream I have. I see life as a partly mental, partly spiritual, and of course actionable, right? Mental, spiritual, and actionable. If nothing else, I shared this note with you because I would like for your takeaway to be this. And if nothing else, only this. If you want it, go and get it. The only one stopping you is the story you tell yourself. So change the story, change your life. You can do it. That learning curve may be a steep hill and even deeper valley, but it's worth the trip every single time. You know it, and I know it, especially if you're up in age as I am. I'm not ancient, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a whippersnapper. Sometimes I feel like Yoda. This is my Yoda moment. Anyways, what have you ventured out to do, and how did it change your perspective on life? moving forward. As always, I'd love to hear about it. You can leave me a voice note at speakpipe.com/the Chamber Voice Line, or you can send an email to thechamberwithin@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and you have a wonderful week ahead. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.